In the name of freedom, defense, or strategy, the United States has bombed at least 14 countries since World War II. Behind each mission, headlines, objectives, politics, behind every explosion, there were people whose stories were buried in rubble, whose wounds remain open. This is not just a history of war, this is the story of scars. Hidden, silent, and often forgotten. August 1945. 2 atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki killed over 200,000 people, many instantly. Others died slowly from burns and radiation. Survivor voiceover, real quote, "My skin hung from my hands. I looked for my mother, but everyone was burning." It ended World War II, but at a cost the world still debates. The survivors, Hibakusha, still fight for recognition. In the Korean War, U.S. forces dropped more bombs than in the entire Pacific theater of World War II. Footage, napalm strikes, flattened cities, refugees. Narrator, Pyongyang was bombed into near obliteration. Entire villages were wiped from maps. Nearly 3 million Koreans, mostly civilians, were killed. Expert voice clip, the goal was to destroy North Korea's will, but we destroyed its landscape instead. 1991, and again in 2003. Iraq was bombed under different names: Desert Storm, Shock, and Awe. Hospitals, water plants, homes, all destroyed. The war didn't end with Saddam. It began decades of collapse. 1999, NATO, led by the US, bombed Serbia during the Kosovo conflict. Civilian areas were struck, hospitals, schools, even a media station. The legality of the strikes remains controversial. After 9/11, Afghanistan was bombed for 20 years, the longest US war. The Taliban returned, civilians were buried, and America left, leaving scars in its wake. Vietnam saw the US unleash its full military might. 7 million tons of bombs dropped. Napalm burned skin to bone. Agent Orange poisoned forests and genes. Children today are born with deformities linked to the war. We were told we were stopping communism, but I saw more farmers than fighters. Between 1969 and 1973, the US secretly bombed Cambodia to target Viet Cong supply lines. Instead, they killed tens of thousands of civilians and destabilized the country. Chaos followed. So did the rise of the Khmer Rouge. Laos holds a grim title, most bombed country per capita in history. Over 270 million bombs were dropped, a third of which never exploded. Today, children die playing in fields seeded with death. 2011, NATO intervened in Libya. Bombs fell, and Gaddafi was killed. But Libya unraveled into civil war, militia rule, and modern-day slave markets. In each place, bombs may have ended a regime, silenced an enemy, or fulfilled a strategic goal, but they also silenced children's laughter, turned homes into ash, and carved trauma into generations. History counts victories in headlines, but justice lives in memory, and memory remembers the pain. Before we speak of liberation, we must count the cost, because war doesn't end when the last bomb falls. Like, share, and subscribe. The truth deserves to be seen. Since 2015, U.S. bombs sold to Saudi Arabia have fallen on Yemeni weddings, schools, markets. The world watches, but little changes. Children starve where bombs once fell. Drone strikes over Pakistan, remote-controlled from thousands of miles away. Militants were hit, and so were children, rescue workers, and mourners at funerals. In Somalia, drone strikes continue quietly. Civilian deaths often go unreported. The war on terror leaves invisible graves in forgotten corners.